Alright guys, so found out kind of where I want my towel rack. Pulled the old one off, just unscrewed it, get some joint compound, fill in the holes. We're going to sand it a little bit when that's dry and paint over it. And then, so this has, let's see if I can get some more lights on in here. This has this hole here. It's a 2.5 millimeter, I think, Allen key. I'm going to unscrew that so you can get your base plate out right there. These is what you're going to use to mount. So we're going to pull the other one out. Just get your key in there. Loosen that up a little bit. Just like that. Okay. And pop it out of there. Alright. So I'm going to put this probably about the same height as the other one. Roughly, I'm thinking right about here. I want it centered with the, pretty much dead even with the window. And I want it about the same height, so right about there. So this might be a little tricky. And line up our things the proper distance apart. So these do have a little bit of leeway in them as far as where they want to go. These should be equidistant between this. So, actually, this might be a little. Okay, so this has some play in it too, so this doesn't have to be exactly perfect. I'm going to get my tape measure out and we're going to measure the distance there. Okay, so we're going to be measuring basically from the middle of this to the middle of this, and it's should give us the proper length here. So, so pretty much like 30 and 1/2 inches is what we're looking at. So 30 and 1/2. So I'm going to get this first hole in with this up where I want it, and then we're going to measure off of that 30 and 1/2 and get it level. So I'm going to mark my dot here where this is, measure 30 and 1/2 inches over to the other one on a level playing field here. So this is a little bit more to it than just throwing up a thing. I like to have my stuff level if possible. So now that we know that's 30 and 1/2, we're going to find out where we're at on the measurements here on the wall. Okay, so I wanted it centered in the middle of the window, not like that last one was. So I measured the width of the window is 33, and a quarter, no, it's 33 and 3/4. Nope. 33, so 33 and 1/4, so 33.25. And then subtract the 31.5 from that. 33.25 minus 31.5. That's going to give us 7.75. .75 inches. So basically from here to here, and then I want it to be even here, so I take the difference between the width of that, 31.5, 33.25, so the whole distance, and subtract the other distance of the measurements that we need, so 31.5 gives us the 1.75 inches. Now we divide that 1.75 inches by 2. That's going to give us a distance that we need on either side there. So 1.75 divided by 2, it's going to be 0.87. So 8/10, almost 9/10 of an inch. So a little less than an inch, and we're going to put that, basically measure off of here, a little bit less than an inch, roughly here, make our dot, measure off of there the 31.5, and we should be able to get that real close to being even. Okay, so the difference was a little less than an inch. I marked that with my thumbnail here, just barely indented into the paint there. You won't be able to notice it really. And I'm going to take my level now. See if I can see from this side. We're going to make sure that's level off of that mark. Get your bubble just right and perfect in the center. And I want it about this high for the first one. So right about, just get it perfect. Okay, so we want about even with that. So right about there, I made my mark. Okay, so there's our mark. It's about where I want it. Now 31.5 inches from that. Obviously from this mark here, we're going to measure from that 31.5. Okay, so this is going to be covered up a little bit. So we can just kind of mark it with our thing right here. We're at about there. Okay, so I made that higher. Now we take our level and we're going to go off of this one right here. It's our mark over there. And we're going to find out where it's level. And we can mark even with that. So, okay, so this stays the same. And we want this to be perfectly level on our mark over here. Okay, it's going to go down just a hair more. It's about perfect. So we're just going to hold that right there and make sure it doesn't go anywhere. And then we're just going to mark that, like so where it crosses with the mark that we just made. So that's going to be our little point for the thing. So now we have our two marks there and there. It's level. And we can get our holes going now. Okay. Alright, so now that we have our little marks there, take your template and make that lined up with that. Okay, and then you want it on top of this thing. And you want that to be about as level as you can get it, I guess. This one's a little tricky here because it's not exactly level on top, but you want to make sure. And this rotates too, so it can be a little bit. Let's put our second hole there and just kind of mark it right in the middle of the template with that. So you put it on there, and it should kind of show both your things. And then go to the other side. I'm just going to eyeball this one. It's got some leeway. And like I said, this thing's not exactly this thing's a little difficult to get perfectly straight here. It's got some leeway to move around, so we're going to mark our other hole there. So we got our 4 holes now. And hopefully we don't have a stud there. So basically, let's move up and you can kind of see where we're at here. Hopefully we can just go right in here. So these pretty much are self-tapping screws, I think. These screw holders, so you have a nice point, just put it right in the center of your hole there. And you can drill these out. You know what? I'm just going to drill it. I will drill it in there, yes. Okay, so here we got our thing. We're just going to put a little hole right there. Okay, and a number 2 right there. Okay, and same thing with the other side. Drill our hole nice and straight. Get it right in the center of your hole. Just drill that in there. Okay. You got those holes, and we can simply take this and we should be able to rotate that so it goes in there and screw that into your drywall. Should be nice. And what's the deal here? Something's holding it up there. Got to be joking me. Okay, so what is the deal? I didn't make them big enough. 1 second. Alright, so just grab some pliers and got out. I'm gonna use a little bit bigger one there. I think I'm like perfectly on the inside of a stud right there. So let's try to get this back in there again, shall we? Pretty much just strip this though, unfortunately. I can't seem to back it out. I have to grab this, my pliers. Maybe I'll try to get it. I don't know, it seems like it's stopping on something there. Okay, so that one went in. Now hopefully I made a hole that this other one can go in on. Should be threaded nicely. There we go. Okay. All right. There's one. Should be able to get this one in there. I prefer these anchors a lot more to the... Good golly, I am having some serious issues here. Now this one doesn't want to go in. I'm not exactly sure what the deal is here. These don't want to go in there. They definitely aren't the strongest. Look at that, they're just kind of stripping out there. So I'm not really happy with how these anchors are performing. Okay, so I'll try to get the other ones in here. Nothing's got to be easy, right? It's always got to be something difficult. I mean, it's just stripped. I gotta go get some more. Okay, I thought these would be a little bit tougher than they are, but these are pretty much trash. You would think they would have came with a little bit better ones. Might see if I can get those other ones out too as well. So, really, I got these ones. These are like 50 pounders from Home Depot. I got like a pack of 50. These ones are, I can't even screw this one in all the way. So if I can get it out, I'll try to back it out, but maybe I won't be able to. So blast. Kind of trash, actually. I would have thought they'd a little bit nicer ones, you know, a little bit better quality. These ones I highly recommend. They're super burly. Let's see if I can screw these in there without stripping it out. Huh, what do you know? These you don't even really have to drill, pre-drill hole. A lot of times you can just screw these right into the sheetrock without too much problem. And they are really burly, actually. So look at all that pressure I'm putting on. It's not stripping out. That is solid. And these ones are trash, and I don't know if I'm gonna have to remove these or what. It's always got to be something, you know, when you're doing a project. Just, it's already, you know, just stripped out. It's rounded all the way out. There's like, crud. Well, maybe I'll try to use those. Let's see if it's gonna work out or not. So now we'll mount these on the wall, and so therefore it's going to go like let's see, that's going to be that way. Okay, so we're going to put it on the wall like that. Okay, so just like this. Blast, that's not even gonna be flat enough, is it? It's just sticking out like a sore thumb here. It's not even gonna be like flush because of that, huh? Might have to pull those stupid things out and put in some other ones. Let's see if we can make it work or not. Okay. So you don't want to screw them in all the way yet. Get your other one in there. No, I'm just going to use my drill. Heck with this. A little bit faster. Harder, we're going to work smarter. Maybe. A little easier. Alright, let's go over the other ones. See if we can get that put in there without too much trouble. It's gotta be a struggle all the time. Okay. Can't remember which screws I grabbed here. Maybe these ones. No. Not it. This screw right here. Alright, I'm going to just use the screwdriver to tighten them up. It's easier to tell how much tension you're putting on it. And you don't want to over tighten it if possible. Okay, I'm going to get my, I guess I'll get this, now let's get this first one on there. Okay. Should be pretty strong. And then get our level. Put it on that one. Oh man, that is pretty much perfect. So we'll tighten that up. And look at this level, look at that. Perfect. That's what we like. So now what we gotta do is hope that our measurements were right. And we can put our towel rack on there now. 21 minutes. Sorry guys. You have just tuned into the world's slowest handyman. Alright, so obviously we have some kind of a miscalculation here. 31. Wasn't it 30? Oh, crud. Hang on. Okay, well, that's pretty awesome. So, I made the mistake of thinking that this was going to be equidistant. How can I even explain this? So I measured from the middle of this, or from this one, all the way to the other side there. Okay. So this one to this one basically. And I thought, well, okay, this is the center of this. And obviously this should be the center of this. So the center of that to the center of this, which is the center of this, the center of this would be the center, and this would all be centered, and it would go right on there, right? But you can see we have a problem. And I was like, okay, this doesn't make sense, because from here, the center of this to the center of this is 31 and a half. And I measured from this to this is 31 and a half also. So I'm thinking, why isn't that centered? Okay. And I don't know. This is a little, okay, so good golly. These screw on, okay, so it's got this bolt here and these go on there. So the only thing I can tell is that this is not really the center. It's when they screw this on, it's over a little bit. So this appears to be the center, but it's off by a little bit, and that little bit off compounded by this side, and that throws off my whole measurement. So that's pretty awesome, because we were at 30 and a half, I put it at, and it's looking like the middle from that to that is 30 and 3/4, so 30 and 3/4. What is it? 30. Oh my goodness, are you kidding me right now? This is insane. What did I do? Okay, I put it at 31 and a half, not 30 and a half. Measured twice, cut once. I'm an idiot. So anyways, you can get the picture. I'm gonna have to move my whole. So that would have been perfect. This level is like exactly level. I had it all lined up, just got my measurements wrong. I could have sworn it was 30, it's 30 and a half, and I measured 31 and a half somehow, and that's why we are an inch off, and that's why I am an idiot. All right, I'm gonna, well, you guys see how to do it, just don't make the same mistake I did. Don't be a bozo and mess up your thing. So, good golly, how dumb can you be? Anyways, so I'm an inch off, so I'm just gonna move these over a little bit. Hopefully I won't even have to patch over the holes. I think it'll should still cover them up, and maybe not, we'll see. Golly, that was dumb. Anyways, guys, well, maybe I'll put it up at the end of the video here.